Welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. Myself, Assistant Professor Sunil Shah. Today, I would be covering up the topic called cybercrime, which is there in the subject called legal securities and other issues in e-commerce, which is there in Unit 3 of the SEM 4 of the class called Masters of Commerce, and the specialization is e-commerce. Students, we are aware in this most competitive world, everything is done through internet. Right from buying of the medicines, buying of the goods, fruits, vegetables, or the coaching, or giving the contract with one country with the other country is also done through internet. So students should be aware with the different laws, different types of crimes which are done through internet. What is cyber law? Cyber law or the IT law is referred to as a law of internet. The law which is related to internet. The cyber law definition says that it is a legal system designed to deal with the internet, computing, cyberspace, the space in the cyber, and the all related legal issues. Cyber law is an act that applies to internet and internet related technologies. Cyber law is the one of the newest and areas of the legal system. Students, you are aware in this corona lockdown time also, the hearing was done through internet. That was through net. The particular offender was being heard into the different courts of law. So the students should be aware with the different types of law. This is because of the internet technology develops at such a rapid pace that cyber law provides a legal protection to the people using the internet. Cyber law has been referred to as the law of internet, whether it is of Indian countries or any of the international countries, the law should be protected. On offenses under cyber law, today in this particular video I will be covering about these 13 different topics, that is called unauthorized access of the computers, data diddling, virus, worms, attacks, theft of the computer system, hacking, denial of attacks, logic bombs, trojan attacks, internet time theft, webjacking, email bombing, salami attacks, and the physical damaging to the computer system. Coming to the introductory part of what you mean by cybercrime, and offences committed against the individuals or the group of individuals to harm the reputation or cause of physical or mental trauma through electronic means is defined as cybercrime. So harming to the reputation through internet of one individual or a company or any of the organization or the medical fraternity also would be covered up under the term called cybercrime. Electronic means any include but are not limited to the use of modern telecommunication networks such as internet, network including chat rooms, emails, notices, boards, and the groups, and the mobile phones, Bluetooth, SMS, or MMS. IT Act is an act which has been passed under the Indian Parliament on 17th of October 2000. It is a primary law in India dealing with the cybercrime and the electronic commerce. Whatever the business has done through the electronic system or through the internet is also covered up under the IT Act. Secondary or subordinate legislation to it act includes intermediate guidelines which are there in rules 2011 and the information technology rules 2021, which has been recently updated under the IT Act. Coming to the offences under the IT Act 2000, tampering with the computer source document, hacking with the computer system, publishing of the information that is offense in electronic form, which is not acceptable to the public society at large, would be called as offense in the electronic form. Power of the controller to give the direction, the power of the certifying authority to give that particular rules related to giving that particular certificate would be also been controlled by the certifying authority, whether it would be related to the digital signature or any other certificate which has been issued during the shrink wrap or the click wrap agreements. The directors of the controller to subscribe to extend the facility to decrypt information whenever it is required. The protected systems are also the offences under the IT Act. Penalty for misrepresentation is covered under the IT Act. Penalty for the breach of confidentiality and the privacy. Why, if one of the person is working in one of the organization and he is doing all the preparing all the software, and if he is leaking that particular software and is passing the information to some other companies without taking the consent of the director or the owner of the company where he is working, in such cases he would be committed a crime and he would be dealt under the IT Act. Penalty for publishing digital signature certificate falls in certain particulars. Sometimes this happens in case of the directors who is working or whose returns has to be filed online unto the Register of the Companies Act, or he has to file the returns under the Income Tax Act. So if he is cheating and is doing something mischief related to digital signature, then he would be tried under the offence of IT Act. Publication of fraudulent purpose. If any of the digital records are being published without the prior permission, would be also called as fraudulent purpose. This particular information is misleading and it has been called as fabricated offence. Applying to the act is applies to the offences or contravention committed outside India. If any of the persons sitting in outside India, if it commits a crime and if it is harming to the national integrity of the India, he would have supposed to be a committed crime and he would be tried under the IT Act. Confiscation of the document. All the documents would be seized and seized by the IT officials, and there is a penalty for confiscation for not interfering with the other punishment. Power to investigate offence is been also the powers which are being given by IT Act to the cyber police, who will come and try to intervene into the procedure. Identity theft. Coming to the important topics which I would be making you understand, which is there in the topic called cyber crime. Identity theft: when a personal information of a person is stolen with the purpose of using their financial resources or take a loan or a credit card in their name, then such a crime is known as identity theft. So students, you are aware, when the personal information has been taken by that particular other person without his consent and for financial transaction is misusing, then he would be called as identity theft. Now coming to the next point, explaining in short, that is called cyber terrorism. When a threat of extortion or any kind of harm is being subjected towards a person, organization or a group or a state, it is known as crime of cyber terrorism. So the main object is that the threat or in the term of extortion. Generally it includes the well-planned attack strategies on the government and the corporate computer system. So the person who is sitting on the other side, he would be seeing that particular transaction which is done by the one company with the other company, and then making his move so that his company's reputation will be harmed or its computer system are being attacked. So it would be called as cyber terrorism. Cyberbullying is also one of the offences which is dealt under the IT Act. When a teenager who is less than 17 or 18 or adolescent harasses, defames or intimates some within the use of internet, phone, chat rooms, instant messaging or any other social network, then the person is said to be committing a crime of cyberbullying. When same crime is done by the adult, it is called cyber stalking. So for those teenagers, it would be called as cyberbullying, and those adults would be called as cyber stalking. The main thing is the harassment through the social media chats or through the emails or internet or through any of the phone medium. Then such type of messages, vulgar options would be caught and tried under the IT Act. For small children less than 18, it would be called as cyberbullying, and for those adults it would be called as cyber stalking. Harassment and stalking are they prohibited over the platforms as well as. So whenever the person harasses the other person by sending any type of emails or the photos or any of the messages, and if he has been adult, or that particular person, he would be tried for that particular offence called cyber stalking, and would be done by the cybercrime polices. Cyber law protects the victims and prosecutes the offenders against these particular offences which have been committed by that particular person. Hacking: in this crime, when the person gets access over the other person's computer and the password to use them for the wrongful gain. So here the main intention should be wrongful gain. Hacking refers to the activities to seek the compromised digital device such as computers, smartphones, tablets, or even the entire network has been hacked. And while hacking might not be always malicious purpose, it may be sometimes useful purpose, but that particular license has to be obtained by the certifying authority, that is called ethical hackers. So there is a thin borderline of difference between the ethical hackers and unethical hackers. Ethical hackers has the license to hack that particular system, and unethical hackers doesn't have that particular license. If the unethical hackers just go into that particular site and hack that particular system, then you would be tried for cyber criminals. Defamation means, you are aware, the IPC Act says that when the person's name or the fame is been tarnished, such a type of damage which has been caused would be called as defamation under IPSC. But now we are speaking of defamation under the IT Act, where while every individual has his or her right to speech or internet platforms such as well, but if the statement crosses a line or harming to the reputation of any individual or organization, then they can be charged with for the offense of defamation. So whenever the person writes any of the line which is harming to the reputation of the person, individual or organization of the firm or the company, then they would be tried for the act of defamation under the IPC Act. If he writes anything into the print media, and if he writes anything in electronic media or through internet or through the Facebook or any of the social network, it would be tried for the offences of defamation under the IT Act. Coming to the point of fraud, the major motive of this law is to protect the people from online fraud. Students, you are aware, many online fraud system is still prevailing in the market. Right from last 7 to 10 years it is going on. Still their control is necessary, needed, and the students, many of the peoples are making some particular type of awareness program. Still the market is vast and the peoples are being victimized for the online fraud, so they are being tempted by the many offers or many lottery system, the lottery scam, the job scam, or any type of scam related to online fraud. Consumers these days depend upon the cyber law to prevent the online fraud. IT law prevents the credit card theft, identity theft, and any other money related crimes that are bound to happen online. People who commit online fraud faces state criminal charges. They may also witness for civil actions by the victims. So online fraud, it's very difficult, but it's not controllable. It may be controlled if there is an awareness program conducted by the Indian government. Trade secret depends upon the secret which has been done, which has been kept confidential by the persons who are working in the organization. Business depend upon the cyber law to preserve that trade secret. For example, the organization might steal online algorithms and the feature designed by another firm. In this case, the cyber law empowers the victim of the organization to take a legal recourse, the legal actions to protect its secret. So whenever the algorithm is being stolen without the permission or without the consent of their particular owner, then that particular crime which has been committed by stealing that algorithm would be called as trade secret. Contracts and employment laws. One might have agreed upon the terms and conditions while opening the website and downloading some software. So whenever any of the installation is been done through machine, or whenever install any of the apps, there is always an unhidden contracts, the terms which we are not aware and we still accept it. So many terms and the condition while opening the website or downloading of the some software is being kept written, but people are not reading the terms and downloading and installing the website. This is where this law is used. These terms and conditions are designed for online privacy concern. So students, in this particular lecture, I would be informing you that before you install any of them, you read the terms and conditions, whether it is related to playing of the games, whether it is installing of your that particular software, or giving that particular information related to health when you are buying online medicines also. Email abuse, this is also one of the well-known offences. The use of electronic mail to advertise unethically, harass, annoy or cause harm or the email recipients. Abuse can take form of bulk email, spam, UC, or the threatening of the email or email sent with the intent to slow the productivity or causing to the damage to the recipient or the computer system. So students, you are aware when the people are sending 100, 200 or thousands of emails, that would, when the persons will open that email, some virus will become, or the system would be slowing down. This is quite a common offenses which has been committed by the people who want to commit crimes under the IT Act. Email abuse org is a dedicated is a particular website to informing about the user of the potential email abuse and providing them with the tools to avoid becoming the victim and to fight back the email abuser. So if you go through this particular website, there is a lot of content related to how to prevent the email abuse offenses. Computer virus is a type of computer program that would be executed, replicates itself by modifying the other computer program and inserting its codes. If the application succeeds, if that particular code is been inserted and it is succeed, then the virus would be multiplying each other and would be affecting to the computer system and would be slowing down the speed, or sometimes the whole system would be on the standstill. The virus writes its code in the host form. When the program runs, the written virus would be program is executed, causing the infection, and there is a damage to that particular system. Coming to the important part, that is called unauthorized access. Unauthorized access is someone's gain access to the website or the program, service, server or any other system using someone else's account. So if the other person is sitting other side and he is trying to access my program by stealing my password or by stealing of the different types of password combination, and he gets the control over my website or the email, then that type of offense would be called as unauthorized access. For example, if someone is kept guessing the password or the username of an account that was not there until there is gained access, it is considered to be unauthorized access. Unauthorized access occurs if a user attempts to access an area of the system they should not be accessing. When they attempt to access that area, they would be denied the access and possibly see the unauthorized access messages. The very latest one is computer source code. The source code is the list of human readable instructions that are programmed right often in the word processing in a program when he is developing a program. The source code is a run off through compiler to turn into machine code. It is also called as object code, that is a computer can understand, execute. Object code primarily consists of ones and zeros, and it is in a human readable form. Source code example: source code and the object codes are before and after the states of a computer program, and it is compiled. Computer programming languages that compile their codes include C, C++, Delphi, Swift, Fortran, Haskell, Pascal, and many other forms are the computer source code of programs. The main problem here in cybercrime is related to internet jurisdiction. The laws of the countries are not at all clear where the jurisdiction should apply, which country law should be applicable, whether it should be Indian law applicable or the foreign law is applicable. There is a lot of work to be done by the many countries to come across and to find out whether the jurisdiction should be applying or not applying. So if a problem of internet jurisdiction is not solved, the risks of twofold: nation and international legal system will continue to produce uncertainty, instability, and the system would be in the standstill. The outcome will deviate far from the initial conception, limiting the capacity of the communication. The medium and advances progresses. A translational multi-taskholder approach of internet jurisdiction based on the theoretic concept aligns with the multifaceted communal nature of the internet. Violation of privacy. This is also one of the latest crime. The consumer private information can be violated through illicit use of the infiltration of the consumer computer network or several ways. I am explaining with this particular example. When you are sharing your data related, when you are buying the medicine, that data is being stored with the that particular other company. There are chances that this data can be misused when the person of that particular company leaves that organization. So whenever you are entering with the agreement with the other country or the company, that you should abide, the other company should abide with that particular violation of the privacy law. The data which has been given in the good faith and intention should not be misused, or after taking the permission, the data should be sent. Software programs such as games, antivirus programs, and the word process can potentially access the user's private information, expose the information, and secure vulnerabilities. So whenever when you are buying anything, our data is being stored through the cookies and it can be misused by the companies. So a lot of research has to be done related to the data privacy. The areas where cyber law is not applicable: transaction document initiated by the central government. Here the internet related the law related to cyber law is not acceptable. Financial legal act done by someone who is legally claimed over the power of attorney is not applicable. The contract of sale or transferable of the immovable property, here also the cyber act is not applicable. Thank you from my side. Here in this particular video today I explained you the different types of cyber crimes. Thank you from my side.